welcome everybody to another edition to Crusader Chat, and we're here, if you haven't read the title, for a discussion about Persona 5. With me, JacobPF, we have...
Hey guys, Triforce of Doom here.
And it's Yuri. Hello everybody.
That was so slow and artificial, I love it. Okay.
So how should we start? Because Persona 5's a bit of a beast.
Yeah, when your average game time is about 90 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, good lord.
Oh,
and that's not including if you screw up.
It felt like 90 years waiting for the game to come out.
Oh yeah.
Oh, good lord.
Probably my favorite joke about that is Super Butterbuns in her Persona 5 for beginners videos. Like, Persona 5 came out in 2014, record scratch. 2015, record scratch. 2016, 2017, and ever.
Guys, we can't even make our own jokes. We're copying someone else's.
Yeah, but I love that video.
just all the way back in, I believe it was 2013, we first got a teaser image of it.
Yeah, so the whole deal with that is that Atlus had a 40-hour live stream that was in celebration of them as a company as well as Persona. And within that live stream, they announced Persona Q, Persona Dancing All Night, back when it was developed by the Project Diva team. And then they showed off Persona 4 Arena Ultimax and said, well, I don't know, maybe that's all we have to show here. Everybody starts screaming, no, you can't do that! And then they go, okay, fine, I guess there's one more surprise we have here. And then they showed that infamous teaser of You Are Slave, Want Emancipation, with 5 chairs and with a red background. And then
I thought it was 4.
And then Persona 5
I remember
shows
being
up.
4 chairs.
It might have been 4.
Alternate timelines are real.
While I'm editing, like, it'll be apparent to the audience. But yeah.
Yuri's from the 5-chair timeline.
Alright.
This is a replacement Yuri.
But yeah, so that teaser brought upon a lot of things, but it wasn't until about, like, I want to say 6 months after that where we got the quote-unquote first trailer, which was just that scene from the beginning of the game where Protag is walking in the middle of the streets, and then just blue flame appears in the middle of everything.
Yep.
And then, bam, coming out to PS3, and then later they updated the trailer to add PS4.
Yep.
Then 2015 happened where we got our real trailer.
We got the anniversary, we got the concert, and then, which was all nice, it was pretty cool.
Yep.
We had the ad in the paper, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
To see, like, okay, we have some bizarre person with a mask saying they're going to hijack a concert, a Persona concert. That sounds great. That's absolutely okay. He shot out the lights.
And then
he shot out the lights and stole the trailer by putting it on the screen.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna question that logic. That was how we got the first trailer.
That trailer blew a lot of people's minds, because not only was it most of the opening that we later found out, but it also showed us our first little, sneak peeks on what the gameplay looked like. It looked like it was taking off of the Catherine engine. Everything looked so clean and crisp.
I'm 90% sure that. And everyone was probably taken aback by the whole... First, we had mild-mannered looking glasses guy. Then we had, I'm gonna steal your heart and rip your face off! And my face too!
Yeah. They did a great job with the trailer juxtaposition. Just like, first trailer, okay, yep, there's our nice average... There's just our nice average protagonist just going through school life. Second trailer, thief.
Phantom thief. Oh, I bumped my mic. But... the thing about the whole, like, how so elusive they were about how specifically, like, what phantom thieving entailed, a lot of people thought, it's like, are we just, like, a bunch of delinquents that are just gonna steal stuff from banks and stuff? It's like, are we playing as criminals? And then the game comes out and we're like, no, you're just normal high school students. Though there is a part of me that would have wondered, like, what would happen if it was like you did heists at different locations and like Sort of like Payday with personas.
That would have been something.
Yeah.
Another game idea for another time, maybe. But then came the infamous E3, where the E3 2016, I want to say.
Yes.
It was either that or
'cause
15. But everybody was just like, okay, like guys, when's this game coming out? Then the trailer shows up and it's like September 2016. I'm like, okay, but that's for Japan. What about America? It's like America.
Valentine's Day.
February, Valentine's Day, and then around December, April. It's like, give us the game, god dang it.
Yep, and for me specifically, it's just, I still remember it being Valentine's Day, so I just go to double check when I go to pre-order the game with Christmas money. So when exactly is it coming out again? April 4th? Okay, cool.
Like, God, when the news came out that P5 got delayed again in America, like, all the memes...
People are so salty.
All the memes of even a video game stood me up on Valentine's Day.
Which, honestly, me not really realizing that Take Your Heart was the Phantom Thieves motto at the time, I thought, okay, cool, nice little tie into when it's being released in America for what the bundle name is.
We are going to take your heart and stomp on it across the street and come back in a couple of months.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Dude, we took your heart, you'll get it back in 2 months.
Your heart is your money.
But yeah, go figure. I get a Vita so I can get Persona 4 Golden. I am getting PS4 so I can get Persona 5.
Meanwhile, I was just like, hey, it's still coming out on PS3, so I'm fine.
And I don't have a PS3.
I'm in no rush to buy that goddamn console that Sony doesn't even know what they're doing with. Then again, after this recent E3, I don't even think Xbox even knows what they want to do anymore.
Xbox have never known what they wanted to do. We're talking about Microsoft here.
Yeah. So, after
but
that...
this isn't an E3 discussion.
Yeah, after that entire... Oh, Jesus Christ, like 4 years, almost, of waiting more.
It came out.
Seeing
it was good. Oh my god, just...
Seeing all these trailers come out, like, just... getting disappointed when it wasn't coming out sooner than expected, but also understanding April 4th, 2017 finally came, and many people, quite figuratively, blew their loads.
I did not need to hear that. Was that really necessary, that choice of wording?
No!
Yeah.
Exactly.
Again, just April 4th. April 4th, I go to GameStop after class. Cue all my social media, just me posting a picture and the word eeeeee.
I don't think that's a word.
For me, it pretty much is.
So yeah, that was our whole collective on the journey to this game actually coming out. But when it finally did, what was your first impressions on it?
Oh my god, this presentation is so fucking good! Yeah, pretty much for me.
Okay, so here's the thing about P5's incredibly long wait. I ended up going into this game with the traitor getting spoiled for me.
I am somehow really good at avoiding that.
There was a person on Twitter that went around sending just the ending image, like, and just like sending that to people, like PMing it to them or tweeting it at them. Like,
well, that guy's a major asshole.
Yeah,
hold on. You didn't get spoiled then.
Yes, I did actually.
I'm 90% sure we talked about this stuff earlier.
Dude, this was
before the bots.
This was way before then, dude. We talked about it after I had already knew about it.
Wow, are you so the bots were back in like October?
It was back when the game came out around September. I want to say like a couple weeks before the game came out. Like images started going through.
Because the leak is I was not good at like the preloading thing, so the game got data mined and people knew about several very important parts.
People got all these
cutscenes.
cutscenes.
The game was even out.
How is it I seem to be the only person I know who is able to avoid this crap?
Because you don't spend a lot of time on the internet, unfortunately.
I couldn't help myself.
Or you just hang out in a specific circle.
You're you, Jacob.
But
if it's releases simultaneously, I'll get it. I won't spoil myself.
But my whole thing going into the game was like, okay, I may know who the traitor is, but I'm not gonna let that like bother me. I'm just gonna go into the game like I don't know this and see how the game deals with that character as well as just everything else, you know. And like,
I was going in completely blind.
Yeah. So we'll get to that later, and don't worry. Don't worry, we won't spoil anything until we get around to the end of this discussion. But I'm just gonna.
We have 3 party members going into this game are blind, mostly blind, and
Jacob.
I'm loving this boss. I can't wait.
You know, there's me as blind, Yuri is mostly blind, and Jacob is Jacob.
I am all-seeing.
The all-seeing eye.
But yeah, when first booting up the game, I'm one of those guys who, when first booting up, I just go through all the logos just naturally. And oh my god, that OP!
Yeah, like it was so interesting to see like the graphic that they had for like the 20th Persona, the
20th anniversary theme. That was cool. Just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 20.
Yeah. They showed that off back when they actually showed off the collector's edition for P5. I think that was like the 3rd trailer or so that they unveiled that type of stuff. And that's also where we got the DLC screenshots that ended up showing a certain character.
Sir, should we talk about this now? Or
no.
It was like, it showed all the party members.
We're still like sort of in like before game type of stuff.
Yeah, it was when they unveiled when they took Tokyo Tower, in other words, Atlas hid it out and made it red.
Yeah.
They showed off one of the hype trailer with 3 new characters, and then it showed off the DLC costumes, showing the last party member on the box with his eyes Whack Wazowski'd out by information. So that was our first look at the 8th party member. Is it 8?
Yeah.
9. 8 or 9. The final party member.
Final.
Yeah.
The one who wasn't in the trailers.
Yeah.
Any trailers. 25% of them was in a trailer.
Dude, when I got to a point in the game, I went back and I went, you know what? Actually, no. Goro's there. He's just like, there's just
Not
like a bit. He's just like a bit of him behind somebody. But yeah, all that sort of thing led up to us finally playing through the game, and man, the game's production. Like this might be the most budget Atlas has put into a single anything ever.
Oh yeah. The graphics just look so freaking good, and I'm not even that much of a graphics whore.
When your title screen has more style than any title screen ever,
yeah.
you know you're getting into something.
With personality, like
yeah.
Everything has a little bit of movement and charm. Even the goddamn loading screens, the transitions between screens.
Yeah, when I first saw like the train transition, I was like, okay, that is cool.
I've never seen something with such a good quality of life. Normalness.
Also, with the obligatory school trip sequence, what they did with the loading screen there.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
And also when you're dating somebody.
Really?
Yeah. It changes too, where Protec has hearts coming out of him.
Yep.
Okay. Great. Okay.
So Jacob didn't date anybody. Good to know.
I was single first playthrough and then dated specific character second playthrough when I actually got the social link up enough.
Same.
So yeah. Because good God, how?
Moving on, so we can get to that third topics later.
So how jarring was it when you first got into the game and went, oh, this isn't Inaba anymore.
Oh yeah.
This is an actual city.
Yep, we are in Shibuya.
It's like, oh sweet lord, there's avenues and alleyways, and
This is
that's
nice.
a batting cage.
Even
This is
Yogen,
nice.
even though Yogen Jaya is technically fictional area, it is based on places in Japan like that.
Yeah,
so.
which is unfortunate because, as you most likely would have guessed, when the game released in Japan, Atlas had to make a press release saying, "Hey, guys, we know that you love the game and all, but please don't actually go to these stores and start just like loitering around. You're causing a disturbance, and like we don't appreciate that."
Whoopsie!
Yeah, the ways each area in the game was presented was just so well done.
That's a nice transition of just many shadow outlines of people walking by, of differing body types and sizes and gender and all that sort of thing.
Also, the way they showed how easy it can be to get lost in Tokyo, i.e., the first bit of the game.
The amount of people I've seen who don't know how to get to the Ginza line from like where you get off.
Having taken actual train lines in Japan, I still got lost.
I didn't, because I was just like, oh hey, Ginza's over there.
You know, it's
Yeah,
just,
it would have
it's
been
up
nice if I could read the signs.
It's like it's up. It's
So,
like, oh,
for
it's
me,
up the stairs.
Okay, no, for me, it's, oh, there's against the line. Oh, that place is blocked off. Okay, now I am lost. Because I fell for the, they are now cleaning sign path.
Yeah. It's like this side doesn't say Ginza. It does. Oh, oh god, where am I? So like I thought it was funny how like when you eventually make it to school, there's like a thing that you could say, just like I got lost on my way here. It's like most people actually mean that because like they get lost.
Yep.
Good job, guys.
Just from going from one train line to the other.
How did you make that so difficult?
Also,
The true
while
final
still-
boss taking the Ginza
while
line.
on the topic of how they're presenting stuff, Shoji Meguro knocked it out of the park. He just, oh my god.
Yeah, music's absolutely phenomenal. Though there are some tracks here and there, they're just like, oh god, okay, no. And there's other tracks that go, okay, you're fine, but I hear you too often, and now I'm sick of you. Mementos. We're talking about mementos.
Dun 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 dun.
Please do not actually imitate the entire 50 seconds that slow. But yeah,
Okay.
once you finally get on your way to school, you meet up with Takamaki, and then you meet up with local delinquent and vulgar boy, as the game likes to tell us, Ryuji.
Yes,
Ryuji
vulgar.
Sakamoto, because they apparently enunciate his last name like that.
Like again, my whole thing
Wait,
about
no,
that, but my whole thing about that is just like I thought it was Sakamoto, not Sakamoto.
Same.
Where I go, guys. Either way, it's not wrong. It's just it's just.
I know, it's just one of those moments where my brain just goes, that sounds weird.
I was like, well, it's English people trying to make a Japanese name sound not as Japanese, so.
No, it's just me thinking, I like, me having taken Japanese, it's like, okay, what if I also would have put the emphasis somewhere else?
Yeah, Sakamoto instead of Sakamoto.
Sakamoto sucks. Sakamoto, Sakamoto, Sakukakiko.
Sakukakiko.
Alright, anyways.
Who cares? They're all right except for that last one. That one was terrible.
Yeah, once you find this random phone app, you go over to the
That
metaverse.
you tried to delete like 3 or 4 times.
That's why my favorite part is the protest.
It's just like, like me, it's just like, oh, it's still there. Bye.
I should probably restart my phone too. It's just like, okay, I understand. Yeah, I understand that it's just like, oh, just stuff just got installed onto my phone by something. But then it's an eye that's pulsating. Maybe I would be somewhat curious as to maybe this is spyware or something.
I would just tap that. I would go, hang on, what the hell is this? And I go to delete it. And if it showed up again, I'd probably go to internal settings and have a look. But we don't really know the OS of this phone, and
Yeah.
you'd think that maybe there'd be something, but we don't really know.
Looks like just your average run-of-the-mill Android smartphone, so maybe formatting could have helped.
Also, when it first shows up, everything around you slowing down, and you just see something surrounded by fire.
Yeah.
Just like, okay,
that'd be a trigger. If that happened, I'd be pressing the button. I'd be slamming that button harder than...
just like...
really hard.
Just like Joker just going, okay, that just happened.
And then you eventually find out that Igor, back again for the 5th time, 6th technically, because Persona 2 split into 2 games, but he shows up sporting a new deep voice.
He's back again for the 4th time.
Well, he was in Persona 1.
Persona 2 timeline thingamajigs, guys. I'm terrible.
But
right, Jacob's the one who's played a crap ton of Persona 2.
Yeah. I do find it funny how that Igor just somehow, through mystic powers, installed a phone app on your phone. I also
then all your friends' phones.
I also like how, I thought, when I initially thought about it, I was just like, that's, I feel like this is just, Atlus's whole MO now, is that you have this app on your phone that does everything. But then I stop and think, the only reason I think that is because, in the time before we got Persona 5, Devil Survivor 2 Record Breaker came out, where you use your phone to summon demons. SMT4 Apocalypse came out, where people in Tokyo use their phones to summon demons. And then you even find out that maybe the gauntlets are actually just phones from Tokyo refitted.
That would not surprise me. That would not surprise me at all.
And then it's just like, okay, Atlus, we get it. Phones, they're powerful, but they can't do everything. Which, thankfully, we do still have our mystic bullcrap here, just for the sake of being mystic bullcrap.
All the app does is let you go into Mementos. That's all it does.
And the metaverse in general.
Well, yeah, that too.
But
it only lets you enter an alternative dimension,
Yeah, and you also, something I also found weird compared to the other games is that, at least with Persona 3 and 4, but 4 was more on the nose with it, and that there's something that starts your Persona awakening. Meanwhile, on P5, it's more just the fact that you're in the metaverse. And you have
a sense of rebellion.
And you have the sense to fight for what's right.
Fight for what's right. You get evil powers and rip your face off.
Fight for...
That was... I don't know where I was starting with that.
Fight the power!
Also, speaking of the Persona Awakenings, holy shit!
Yeah, so Persona 3, shoot yourself in the head. Persona 4, crush a card. Persona 5,
rip your goddamn face off!
Rip your face off, but before that, have a seizure and also the worst pain you could ever, feel in your entire life.
Something so painful that tearing your face off is actually relief.
Yep.
God dang, this is skipping ahead a bit, but god dang Yusuke dragging his nails across the floor until they start bleeding.
They bleed, yeah.
And then
nails can't even bleed though.
And then you actually see the blood falling from his fingertips as he gets up. It's like, oh god, that's oh yeah. Through finding a shadow version of a pervy gym teacher and just wanting to kick that gym teacher's derriere, you awaken to your persona Arsene. Hello, Lupin the Third.
I didn't expect to see you around here. Then again, I didn't expect to see this castle in my school. So, you know, I should have expected to see a castle at my school. I've played Persona 1.
Yeah. That's the Snow Queen. But yeah, after you lock up that pervy gym teacher, run around, you find this little cat thing that swears it's a boy and also not a cat.
Yeah, and we'll get more into that later.
Yeah. But after that, you then get into the main thing about Persona 5. Living your days as a normal student by day, and then after school, getting into some dungeon crawling, fighting some otherworldly beings, gaining more power, and basically doing that more and more until you start making friends, increase your relationship with those friends, and make stronger demons.
Yep. So, yeah, might as well start getting into the actual gameplay then.
Gameplay from Persona 3 and Persona 3 is so Persona 3's gameplay was very hard to go back to because you literally have to walk every single way there, and that's why I prefer portable more, because you not only do you not walk, you're basically just like a cursor moving from one place to the other, but you can also get something that Persona 4 added, which makes walking around that game bearable, which is you can skip to different locations. Quick travel is amazing. I wish it was in more games, but there are actually games that release nowadays that still don't have it.
Even One Shot has quick travel.
I'm looking at you, Dragon's Dogma. But yeah, so Persona 3 was kind of iffy with its, walking around your make-believe city in Tokyo. And Persona 4 was better with that just because it added quick travel. But Persona 5 is so much bigger than both 3 and 4. But because there's so much stuff to do in almost every avenue, I don't really quick travel as much as I would do in 3 and 4, because every other day there's something I could go the other way and just go, oh, this exists. Like, I didn't even know where the video store was for like a month until I actually turned right a bit and saw it was right there.
So basically, what we're saying here is investigate every location, then spam the ever-loving hell out of quick travel.
Yes.
Yeah. Also, as a guy who abuses his mini-map, honestly, the video store was one of the first places I visited.
Yeah. I was more interested.
It is there.
I was more interested in the bookstore at the start, but then I realized, wait, I have a TV and a VCR now. Maybe I should find where you could get this type of stuff. I was like, oh, it was right across the street. Cool.
I still need to do my Max book, Max DVD, and Max game runs.
Oh, good lord.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason New Game Plus exists.
I got the books on my second way through because I forgot that... Well, I didn't necessarily forgot, but I didn't know that there was actually a bunch of books that you can only get from your school.
Oh, the library ones based on the Persona, right.
So... I got those on my second playthrough, but I completely ignored DVDs.
I forgot the DVDs existed, and that was fun.
But getting the game console was pretty fun.
Oh yeah, the video game little mini games are neat.
Unless you're playing the game of life, in which case it's just luck based, in which case that can go suck on a railroad spike.
Are you talking about Gamble Goemon?
That too, but
yes.
also there's basically just a board game that you're playing where you have to roll the dice. And it's cool.
Yeah.
Can we go back to button mashing? At least I could do that, right?
Button mashing and putting fighting game commands.
Yeah. Playing what was basically Punch Out. With the trying so hard not to be Punch Out theme playing in the background.
To be fair, that's basically all the games and DVDs being it's this, but not.
Dude, movie theaters are probably it's a gamble at what you get in the movie theaters. Either you get something goddamn amazing, or you get something that's subpar, but you still laugh at it anyways just because of how bizarre it is.
The cake night, that's it.
The cake night. Oh god. But yeah, there's a lot of things that you can do when you're running out throughout the city. And we pretty much named a majority of them, but you can also go to like the underground mall, buy some relics so you can give them to like. So here's something that bugs me, is that you can buy gifts for people in case, so you can like keep their relationship up in case you screw up and don't pick like the right selection during social links. But but in this game you can only give gifts to the girls.
No.
And the game only allows you to do that when you're past rank 5.
That doesn't even make sense.
So that's something I'm not so sure about how I feel about.
I honestly forget the gifts are a thing 99.9% of the time.
I do it because when there's times where I accidentally go into a social link and I don't have the persona of the arcana that I'm trying to upgrade, so I end up getting like 2 instead of 3 points. I go, well...
And then there's when you're doing sun or moon and it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Every single time. It's just fine. They upgrade anyway.
Because moon is side quest and sun is auto.
Coincidentally, these two are like some of the best links in the game, and you should.
Oh yeah.
Especially Sun, because Yoshida, he goes away after election time in November.
Oh yeah, and when I was going for a max run on New Game Plus, I kind of rushed the ones I didn't max out first run a little too much, and was 1 rank away.
Whoopsie.
Good job. So yeah, as you probably disconcerted from our rambling, you go out and you hang out with friends, a lot of friends that you probably didn't even know that you would make in this game.
Yep.
And while it's not like Xenoblade Chronicles X where you have a team of like 32 and you swap out. No, that's not the case at all.
Wait, you have that many party members?
There's a lot of people in Xenoblade Chronicles X that you can just have as like temporary party members. And also just like people that you just have. And I say temporary party members, I mean like people that you send out for like scouting missions, and then you can also have them as your main party members. But they're not.
Because again, currently playing through Xenoblade 1, and I'm just used to having the 7.
Yeah, but they're not like plot relevant, so they won't really show up in like main cutscenes. They'll ask you to have like, oh hey, have Alma and like Lynn. Don't have any of these other people that don't matter.
Yeah, but yeah, all the different confidants are just really well done. But again, we'll get to that.
Yeah. So after you've probably talked to a bunch of people, ate a lot of food, and get abused by children in a prison cell while a man with a very long nose just stares from afar, you might eventually go back to Kamoshida's dungeon. That's what I love about this game. There's so much you can do. But do not miss those deadlines, people. This is serious. Do not miss those deadlines.
Like, I'm good at not doing that, so I've only read about what happens, but Jesus Christ.
Yeah, dude, they get dark. But yeah, you have a deadline for every single person that you go after in this game. And once it exceeds that, the police show up at your house, say some dribble, and then it's game over, and you have to go back a week or from your last save file.
Yep.
Basically, the way that Persona 5's dungeons work is way different from Persona 4. And Persona 3's whole MO was just that, hey, there's a shadow on the train tracks, go after them.
And also go through this very, very tall tower.
And then every off day, go up this tower that sounds like toothpaste. And then just fight some bosses and some random enemies and get cards that have personas and don't actually fight personas, just fight shadows.
And both 3 and 4 had the random generation, which 5 still has in Mementos, but
all the main dungeons of Persona 5 are actually well thought out, and I appreciate that.
Yep.
Because there's only so many times you go down the same 5 hallways, arranged differently, that you go, okay.
With the occasional fixed layout floor.
Yeah, maybe P4 could change it up a tiny bit. Then the misted woods happens, and then everybody goes, okay, maybe this is too much. Pull me back. I'm not ready.
Am I the only one who liked that dungeon? Seriously?
I liked it too, but I know a lot of people who hated it.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, wow, this is a really cool bonus dungeon. Where's all this hate coming from?
I guess it's because the fact that you're practically just forced into it and there's no leniency. It's just like...
But, I just really liked what it did.
Yeah, it's cool. But yeah, all the main dungeons in
still
Persona
go
5.
shop during it.
Yeah.
So.
All the main dungeons in Persona 5 are well thought out and don't change on subsequent playthroughs or when you go through different like floors or anything. Nothing of the sort.
They're nice and linear.
You make it all the way.
Because they look good.
You make it all the way to the end. Then you need to send a calling card to the person in the real world in order for their treasure to manifest.
Which, considering how I'm used to just top floor, time to fight the boss, that definitely threw me for a bit of a loop.
Yeah. Again, unlike P4 where you're just like, Yukiko's in trouble, runs through the entire dungeon in one day. Yukiko's back, yay!
Which you honestly do want to do as fast as possible because you can't do your party members' social links until after beating the dungeon pretty much in Persona 4.
Yeah.
Persona 5 just limits it to where you can't do that when you're primed for the boss.
Yeah, and yeah, I also love how, like, every single character in your party, when you're just like, hey, you want to hang out, but aren't we supposed to be dealing with Kamoshida? Or
I have a plan, do not worry.
It's like, it's okay, don't worry, we have some time. It's like, yeah, I guess you're right. Want to hang out at the mall?
Unless you're Yusuke, Makoto, or Haru during their initial dungeon.
So okay, well, I'll get to Haru later, but yeah.
Yeah.
So afterwards, you get into the Phantom Thief gameplay, which is way different than any dungeon gameplay in the series so far.
And it's so fun!
So it goes, it's basically an evolution from the normal gameplay from normal Persona 3 and 4, where you run through a dungeon, maybe get a first strike in, and then go on to the next person, or possibly run from shadows. And in this one, you're running all over the place, hiding behind like scenery, maybe waiting for enemies to pass if you don't want to fight them. But if you do, you ambush them in a different way by jumping onto them, ripping off their mask, and watching them explode into demons while you guys get ready.
Also, when I went back to Persona 3 Portable after playing lots of Persona 5, it was just like, what? I forgot that the shadows in the previous games had like 360-degree vision!
Yeah.
They had eyes in the back of their head.
Meanwhile, everybody every enemy in Persona 5, unless you get caught, and then they're just running, they're like full on sprinting towards you. Every enemy has their like set like walking distance. Movement patterns.
And they have a definite vision line that you get used to seeing.
Yeah. So
compared to Persona 3 and Persona 4, where it's like, please don't see me, please don't see me, please don't see me.
But yeah, you basically, it's like very cool. Also, P5, when you're actually in battles, does aways with menus and basically goes, here's everything! Here's the button
and let it all commence.
Here's everything! Here's the buttons for it! What are you gonna do? It's like, okay, I guess.
And the menu is so stylized, I love it.
That menu has been used in like everything now.
I've made my own menu memes.
And again, bringing up the music again. Last surprise. One of the.
What are you doing? No, you're starting at the wrong point, man. If you want to bring up Last Surprise, you have to just kind of break into it. Just, you know, from the middle. I'm not gonna do that. What did you think I was gonna do?
I loved that little bit of silence because it's just like, okay, we're waiting.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I guess you never saw it coming, did you?
I don't know what battle theme for Persona I actually like more.
Also, when you go to storm the boss, it's just suddenly epic.
Yeah.
With the later dungeons adding in the vocal track.
Hmm.
Uh,
I love the whole mentality of just like, okay, you're gonna go through this dungeon normally. Yeah, that's fine. Here's the dungeon music. It's the last day. You're about to heist. Get in the guitars. Get in the saxophones.
we won't even interrupt it during the battle results.
Then get in the bass. It's like, this is your theme. You're storming this castle or museum or UFO bank.
Yeah, like last surprise, it's just the Phantom Thieves giving a nice post to the random shadow you're fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Life will change. Time to do this, motherfuckers.
And as Jacob
And
hums,
Jacob's now
as Jacob hums the
What?
theme. We go
what?
on. What?
Nothing.
Okay. We
Like,
go on to.
only time life will change it stops is when you're talking to the boss.
Yeah, which I love. Like, I think it's called like evil blooming or something like that.
Blooming Villain, I believe it's called.
But not
Yeah,
the
Blooming
not-
Villain is
not-
the boss theme.
Yeah, the boss theme. But I'm
okay.
talking about like the track that plays while the boss is like talking.
Right.
But yeah, Blooming Villain's a great track, and one thing that I really enjoy about the boss fights in this game is that, unlike Persona 3 and Persona 4, if you're having
Witches, those ones.
if you're having a trouble with the boss fight itself, you could just be like, hey, I got a plan, but it's gonna need you, Ryuji, you do it.
Yep. Speaking of which, first time I did send Ryuji, yeah, that went well.
The boss have little interactive features and gimmicks where you can send off a party member to do make some sort of task, and you'll be benefited. You should benefit from doing said task.
Also with the first boss, don't be an idiot. Do not send on. You will regret it. I'm just saying this as hindsight sort of thing, because if you think you're going to send on, don't.
Dude, I'm 90% sure when the game kind of when the person says, I think this is a terrible idea and you shouldn't send me, just listen. You don't even need to bring it up as a fact. Just kind of feels like an obvious thing.
There's also the fact that like the game before your turn is just like Kamoshida staring it on. It's like, okay, cool. Maybe pick someone who isn't on then.
Yeah.
It felt like
so
an
again,
unnecessary warning, Triforce.
I know. Again, just like first time I sent Ryuji, he almost got there. Almost.
How did he almost get there?
See, the thing about it is that like when you send somebody to go do something, you need to do enough damage to keep the enemy's attention towards you.
Yep. And I was kind of slightly under-leveled first time.
If you don't meet that criteria, then the boss would just be like, "Wait, wasn't there 4 of you? Oh, hello there."
You know, like
I actually did not notice that because I didn't.